Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Melanie here from Mel's Inky Fingers, and I'm very excited to show you today's adorable projects. Aren't these cute? I had so much fun working with today's bundle, so I'm just going to give everyone a minute to find us, and I'm going to make sure I'm live in the correct place. So give me just a moment here to make sure I can find myself, and there I am. Good, I'm live in the right spot. That's always helpful. So I'll give everyone just a minute to find us. Hello everyone, happy Friday. Another week is coming to an end and we are into fall. It is really starting to feel like fall outside. So I love fall. It's one of my favorite times of the year. All right, hello everyone. Look at today's projects. Are these not adorable? They were so fun to make. And who doesn't love little treats? And even if you don't make Halloween treats, I think that you'll find today's projects helpful because you could adapt them to whatever kind of treat you need or like to make. So I'm just going to give everyone another minute or so to find us, and then we'll get started on everything that I have to share today. I'm going to show you some creative ways to use the stamps and items that we have in our mini catalog to make today's projects. So hello everybody, happy Friday. Thank you for joining. I can't wait to share these projects with you. I had a lot of fun creating this one especially, and this is just plain cute. And you can always use little treat boxes to put fun things in there. All right. Well, I think I'm going to get started. I jumped on. It was just a minute or so late when I jumped on. I had trouble printing something I wanted to share with you. And I just heard it come off the printer, so I'm going to grab it. I'm going to give everyone just another, maybe half a minute. All right, I think that I'm going to get started. So I'm very excited to share these two adorable tree containers with you today. I know that our last Friday focus featured the cutest Halloween bundle, and this is the other Halloween bundle that Stampin' Up! Has in the mini catalog this year, and it's called the Frightfully Cute Bundle. It's absolutely adorable. I'm not sure I have ever enjoyed a die set as much as I have enjoyed the dies that coordinate with this bundle called the Frightful Tags, I believe. Frightful Tags dies. They have been well loved. This label has become one of my favorites, and I will continue to use this through the fall and Christmas crafting season. It will make perfect Christmas tags. So don't feel like you can't continue to use these items even though the season may be past. So even though this isn't a Halloween die set, keep using it. There are several dies in this die set that you could continue to use. So let's take a little closer look. All right, if I can find where I put it. Okay, so this is the Frightfully Cute bundle. This is the Frightfully Cute stamp set. I love this little witch. And here are the Frightful tags. Let's see. Yep, Frightful tags dies. There are lots of items in here that you can continue to use beyond the Halloween season. These 3 tags are awesome. This little fence could be used for any type of all occasion card, and you have a really great sized circle that you could continue to use as well. And then you have this little star die that cuts out these itty bitty stars, which is awesome detail for any projects throughout the year. So, you know, you have your witch hat and your spider web, which are definitely more seasonal. But if you look beyond those two, the rest of these dies you could continue to use throughout the year. So don't put this away after October 31st. All right, so here are our projects for today. Super, super cute. I had a lot of fun creating them. And before I jump in, I just want to share some announcements with you so that you don't miss out. So just a reminder that my Cutest Halloween Treat class registration is closing. I'm wrapping up a registration this weekend. I'm going to order all the supplies on Monday morning, and then I will prepare the kits and get everything shipped out to you so you have it by the end of the month to create. So this class makes 5 absolutely adorable projects using the Cutest Halloween bundle. So these projects you could continue to make throughout the year by substituting a different bundle to make it whatever type of treat that you want. They'd make adorable birthday treats or all occasion treats, thank you, thinking of you, anything that you can think of. You could continue to use these projects and just change out your sentiments, and then for example, maybe instead of putting bats, you could put little flowers or something. And these adorable tombstone treat boxes you could use throughout the year. Just trim off this point on the bottom and this on the top, and it just becomes a really cool distressed looking rectangular treat box. So again, that's another product that even though it looks like it's Halloween, you could continue to use it throughout the year with just a little modification. Now this class is going to come with the supplies to make 5 treat projects. You will have a tutorial. It looks like this. It lists everything that we use, and there's step-by-step instructions in here. This will be emailed to you to work at your convenience, at your own pace. This is a kit in the mail. It does not include attendance at any event. You will get some of the designer series paper. You will get the adorable ribbon, some glimmer paper, your treat containers to create with, all the little goodies, and then anything else that needs to be die cut, punched, cut for you, that will be included as well. It will also include the very cutest Halloween stamp set in your kit. Now, if you already have the stamp set, it's okay. On the registration form, you have the option to substitute any other product that you want that's at least of equal value or more. And then you also have the option to convert the stamp set to the stamp and punch bundle so that you can get the savings on the punch. Now, this punch is currently back ordered. I will just remind you of that. So if you do add on the bundle, I will be contacting you so that we can arrange getting this to you when it arrives, because as of right now, it's not going to arrive until early November. But the stamp set is available, and this will be in your kit when I ship your kit to you. And again, if you have it, or if you'd prefer to have something else, feel free to substitute anything. It doesn't have to be a stamp set. It can be any current Stampin' Up! Product that I can get for you, and I can substitute it in. All right. So again, this is a class to go. It's $44 plus your shipping if you choose to have it shipped. I will include the link to register in the description of this video after we're done today. Now, if you're live, you're going to see a red live box in the upper corner of the screen right now. After I'm done going live, that red live box won't be there, and you know you're watching the replay. And once the replay is available, that's when I will have the updated information included in the description so that you can just click on the link and register for the event. Now, also as a reminder, I have a new Simple Sweet Stamper tutorial bundle this month, and it's beautiful. It features the Nature's Harvest bundle and the Harvest Meadow product suite. It's very pretty. It includes the very beautiful and soft colors of this Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper and the remaining products. And again, this is a tutorial bundle that is a collaborative between myself and 11 other Stampin' Up! Friends. We each create a project each month, and we create this tutorial so that we can offer this to our team. Our team gets access to this as a perk of being on our team, as well as a customer perk as a thank you for shopping. So this month, here's my project. Woo, sneak peek. It's very pretty. The step-by-step instructions are in here, and I will email this to you anytime you make a Stampin' Up! Purchase of at least $50 with me. I give this to you as my thank you, and each month there's a new tutorial. So That will be available through the month of September. And then also winding down is Celebration. Stampin' Up! Has offered a second celebration this month. Some of these items are starting to sell out, everyone. So don't wait if there's something that you absolutely love in here. This is packed full of amazing products. Again, this is the Celebration August and September 2021 brochure. Everything in here is available free with your purchases. These are items that cannot be purchased. And like I said, things are starting to sell out. The Bedazzling specialty paper is gone, and it was amazing, but there's still awesome items remaining. So no worries about getting something great with your purchase. So I do have a host code going this month. If you do decide to shop, I would appreciate you shopping with me if you don't already have a demonstrator. Here's the current host code. Again, I will have this posted in the description of the video when we are done. With Celebration comes this amazing joining offer. If you would love to shop with a discount any day of the week, any day of the month, as well as get all the perks of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and a member of my team, such as getting this Simple Sweet Stamper tutorial bundle each month, as well as discounted classes, fun crafty friends, getting together to stamp. We do all kinds of fun stuff. Plus I give things to my team because I love doing that. So if you would love to be a member of my team and enjoy these perks of discounted shopping, early access to product, the amazing Stampin' Up! Community, you can go to my blog, Mel's Inky Fingers, and click Join the Fun. And this month, you get to choose one of these 12 bundles as a gift from Stampin' Up! In addition to your starter kit. So your starter kit is only $99 plus tax. It's an amazing deal. It includes any $125 of Stampin' Up! Product that you choose. You get whatever you want. And then Stampin' Up! Is going to throw in one of these awesome bundles that you get to also choose as a thank you. And these range from $31 up to $60. So it's an awesome value. Plus, they ship it to you free and even throw in a paper pumpkin for you. So you can't beat it. That promotion ends at the end of the month. So don't wait. You know you won't regret it. All right. So when you join me live and spend the hour with me here on Fridays, I appreciate you joining me, and share it with your friends and invite them to join along. So when you like my page and share my video, it helps me. And so as a thank you for helping me, one lucky person who shares my video this month, I'm going to send this pack of hand-stamped cards to you. They may be cards I've made. They may be cards that I got participating in demonstrator swaps that I have used and now can pass along to you. And when I say use, I may use the product idea or design idea, but the card itself is not used. You may keep these for design ideas or share them with others when you need a card. Put them in your stash, grab it, send it along to a friend when you need a card. They will love it. So I will draw one lucky person who shared my video and thank them by sending them this gift. So I will draw a winner by next Thursday night, okay? And then I will let you know who won next Friday. All right, so let's get started making today's projects, which are these adorable Halloween treat containers. Look at these. Aren't they cute? We are going to use the Frightfully Cute Bundle, okay? Hey, Julie, thanks for joining. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started by making this. So I am going to create this little haunted witch's house and attach it to a bag full of cheese balls because, face it, who doesn't love cheese balls, right? So to make this, I pulled in some really great basics from the annual catalog that are these great shape dies that are good for anyone to just have on hand as part of their stash. So let's look at those a little closer, because before I became a demonstrator, I used Celebration as a time to kind of build up my stash of basics that I needed, such as inks, markers, adhesives, cardstock colors, and then basic dies like this. So for this first project, I used the stitched rectangles. These are awesome basics to keep on hand. They come in, I don't even know how many sizes are in here. There's so many. And what's great about these is the rectangle that you cut out has this stitched detail around the edge. But also it then creates a window, and the window has a stitched detail around the edge on the negative space as well. So you could use them either way. And then these are the stitched rectangles, and there's all these different rectangle shapes. There's multiple sizes of the 3 different types of triangles, as well as some really great additional accent pieces. So these are great basics to put in your stash because you'll be amazed at how often you use them. Now I have pre-cut the shapes for today's project. So this is what we're going to use to make our cheese ball haunted house. We are going to use one stitched rectangle, and I die cut this already from basic black cardstock. And we're also going to use the largest triangle, also die cut from basic black cardstock. You will want a piece, and these are little scraps. This is a good scrap buster project. You will want a piece of Granny Apple Green. Hey Lynn, welcome. Thanks for joining today. Happy Friday. You will want some scraps of Daffodil Delight. So I cut these 1 by 1 inch, and these are 3/4 inch squares, so 3/4 by 3/4. And these are going to create these little windows on our haunted house. Then you will want a little scrap of black glimmer paper for the door. And I just realized I didn't put a little doorknob on there. And then a scrap of basic white for our sentiment. And then I'm going to use some scraps of the adorable designer series paper from this bundle, the Cute Halloween designer series paper. I'm going to use the skeleton print because we're going to just fussy cut a tombstone to add to the front of our house. And then this pattern, it's small scale, which works really great for die cutting this tree. And this green tree now looks like it has kind of like moss and things sitting on it, maybe some dirt, so it works perfectly for that tree. Okay. Now for the roof, I'm also going to use the brick and mortar embossing folder to add the little shingles onto my triangle. And then I'm going to package the cheese balls in these awesome cello bags. They're 3 by 8 inches. They're called printed gusseted cellophane bags. They're great for any kind of treat. And then, of course, I couldn't let a treat container creating session go by without using this metallic mesh ribbon. It looks like spider webs. It's perfect for adding to a Halloween treat, and I tied my bag closed with some of that. Okay, so let's get started making our haunted house. And I'm going to show you a variation on the cheese ball bag. So stay tuned here, stick with me so that you can see what I make instead of the cheese ball bag. Okay. So I'm going to pull out the ink that we're going to use, and we're only using 2 ink colors on this project, Granny Apple Green. And if you choose to use a different color for your moon, you certainly can. You could make it gray, you could make it yellow. I chose coordinating ink to the designer series paper scrap. So I will be using Granny Apple Green and then of course black. And then we are going to use a whole bunch of the stamps from this Frightfully Cute stamp set. All right. So let's get started by prepping the base of our house, which is our rectangle and our triangle. Now, I'm not modifying the rectangle at all, but I am going to put this through the brick and mortar embossing folder so that I can put the shingles on it. So let's do that. And you see the little stitched details on this? And again, you might think, oh, you can use just regular shapes, but this stitch detailing really does make a difference when you assemble your project. It's all the little details that really make your project stand out. So I'm going to take this and run it through my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine here. All right, so now that's super cute. All right, and then let's get ready with some stamping to create our elements to put on our house. Now I'm going to stamp my moon first because I'm going to layer the bats over the top, and I want this green ink to dry on the cardstock. I found that when I did it the first time, because I really inked up my moon really well since it's a solid image, it needed a bit of time to dry so the bats didn't bleed when I stamped them. So I'm just going to stamp this on here. And then I'm going to die cut this with the circle that comes in this Frightfully Cute tag set. This is a 1 3/8 inch circle, which is a really nice size. So let's die cut our moon. Okay, so here's our moon element. We'll let that just dry a bit and then add our bats. And now let's create the windows for our house. Now, I thought this little spider stamp was so cute, and I was looking at how to create windows, and I thought, I'm going to use this web to create the window pane detail on my windows. Now, to do this, I'm just inking up part of the stamp, so I'll keep the spider off the stamp pad so that I'm just inking up the lined part, and then I'm just going to stamp this. And I don't want it to be straight. I purposely want them to be kind of wonky because it's a haunted house. Now, if you did want them to be perfectly straight, you could use this grid paper that I use as my stamping surface on my videos here. Did you know that you can get pads of this in the catalog? They kind of fly under the radar, but they're really helpful. Not only do they protect your work surface, but you could put your square here, and then you could use that to line up your stamp along the grid lines to stamp it perfectly square. Or you could use your Stamparatus. But I want mine wonky, so I'm just stamping it wherever my stamp hits it is where it's going. And I'm purposely doing them crooked. All right, which makes it really easy because then they're going to turn out perfect every time, right? Because you're not trying to make them perfect. All right, so there are my wonky windows that we're going to put on the house, but we can't put empty windows in the house. So let's add some little details. So this witch is up to mischief and is brewing something, who knows what. So I'm going to ink these little chemistry bottles, which I love. My science-loving daughter would also love these. And I am going to stamp these mischievous bottles in the main window that's going to be on the lower part of the house. So that's going to sit kind of like that. And you can see those in this window. You don't want to go near her house, do you? All right, now in the upstairs, we're going to put a cat in one window. So ink up the cat, and these are all silhouette images on this particular project, so I'm doing them all in black. So in one window, we're going to put this cat. And when you have a solid image like this, make sure you give your ink a chance to soak into your paper by holding your stamp onto your piece of paper for just a couple of seconds. Give that ink a minute to transfer, or a second or two to transfer. All right, and then let's do our witch. So here's our mischievous witch. Let's ink her up and put her in this window. And let's see, how do I want these? I kind of like it like that. So I'm going to stamp her in the window. And I'm going to give that just a couple of seconds to transfer that ink. Oh, she turned out good. All right. And she's going to be up here in this window. Okay. And this is going to be our moon. It's going to kind of sit up here like this. Now while that's finishing up drying. Let's cut the front door. So I'm going to use this tag that's meant to be a tag in this die set, and I'm going to cut this tall, skinny door for the witch's house. And even though there's this little circle up here, it doesn't matter. You don't really see it when you put it on your black background. So I'll die cut this. All right, with one of my favorite things, glimmer paper. So that's going to be our wonky front door. All right, so we almost have all of our parts and pieces before we assemble this. So now let's move to what's over here. So let's take this tree die from our tag set, and we're going to cut it out of this cute Halloween designer series paper pattern, and you would never know when you cut this that you have houses on your tree. So let's die cut this. Okay, so here's our tree. Isn't that cute? It makes the cutest little tree with those little color variations. And then we're going to fussy cut a tombstone out of our designer series paper. So this has these adorable little skulls on it, and we're just going to take our scissors and cut out this little tombstone. And this is not hard to cut out. It only takes a few seconds to do, really. Just going to snip in here. On the first one I made, I accidentally even just cut off the bottom of the tombstone, and it still looked really cute. And then just a little more up here along the top. All right, so there's our tombstone. All right, so there's all of our elements. So it comes together pretty quickly, but the last thing I am going to do is I'm going to take this adorable little bat, and I'm going to stamp some bats on our moon. So you can decide where you want these cute little circles to be, and then ink up your bat really nicely and stamp it wherever you want. And I like odd numbers of things, so I'm going to add a third little something somewhere. Let's do here. So there's our bats. And again, another silhouette in our moon. Okay, so now let's assemble this. So I just laid all my pieces, and I purposely want my windows to not be straight. I want them to be kind of crooked and wonky. And then I'm going to bring this down and put it just over the corner of my one window. And I'm going to slide it over a bit, and it's okay if this corner sticks out because that's where I'm going to put the moon, or you could trim it off. So once you get it laid out how you would like it, you can come in with some liquid glue or a glue dot. I don't move things. When I get them where I like them, I just kind of sneak some adhesive underneath. And what I like about this Tombow is it gives you just a little bit of time to kind of rearrange and get things laid out exactly how you like them, because it doesn't dry immediately. So it's a nice little bonus to your creating. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on this door to help it pop, and to do that I'm going to use some black dimensionals. These kind of fly under the radar. They're in the adhesive section of the annual catalog with our other adhesives. Now, as you know, we have two different size dimensionals. I use them a lot. If you know me, I'm like the dimensional queen. And the small and the large of the white color come separately. But with the black, they come small and large in one pack, which is really nice. So, and I think, don't quote me, I think it's one sheet of these and maybe 2 sheets of the bigger ones. I'd have to double check. But anyway, they do come together in the same pack, so it's really nice. All right, so now I'm going to put some dimensionals along the bottom of my roof so that it pops up a little bit. So I'm just looking to see where I need to put them. And again, I'm using black so they blend in and you won't be able to see them. And I'm just going to bring this down, slide it over a bit so it covers this corner. And I want it just to clip the corner of that window just a bit. And then I will put my moon on here. And I think I like it like that. So I'm going to put my 2 little dimensionals kind of right along that edge. And then add that on. Now you could make this really cool and even add a little wink of Stella if you wanted. All right, so now let's attach our tree. Putting just a tiny bit of Tombow on this tree. And I'm going to attach these branches here kind of over the corner of the window. And I just want this bottom of the tree to just touch the house a little bit so that when I put this little tombstone on, it holds it down in place. So now I'm going to add a dimensional to the back of this little tombstone and add this right here off the corner of the house. So cute. Isn't that adorable? All right, so to finish it off, we just need our little happy birthday wish. Oh, my corner's sticking out a tiny bit there. I'm just going to nip this off with scissors so it doesn't show. There we go. I didn't move it over quite enough. All right, so now let's add our Happy Halloween to You. You could also use the Frightfully Cute, which would be adorable with the haunted house. That would be a cute little sentiment. And I'm going to stamp this in Granny Apple Green. On a piece of basic white. And then in the die set, there's this really awesome tag. Look at this, with these really neat edges. So I'm going to die cut it with that. So let's do that. All right, and here it is. Then of course, let's put that on with some dimensionals as well, and I'm going to kind of have it overlapping the moon a little bit. So I'm not going to put any dimensionals underneath the section that's on the moon because I want it to stay nice and level. So I'm going to put my dimensionals over on this side. So let's take a couple of these little guys, at least 2, so it doesn't shift around on you. And once it's on your project, I find that you need at least 2 little points to hold it down. And then I'll put that on the roof. And there it is, our little haunted house. What do you think? You like it? I thought it was adorable. Now, when I made the cheese ball packet, I just put the cheese balls in these cute cello bags and tied it closed with the mesh ribbon. And then I just put adhesive on the back and put that right down on the container. But I want to show you a variation that you can do to make this super cute. Now, if you needed a Halloween cart for some reason, and you don't, Halloween is typically not a time of year where I send a lot of cards, but sometimes you need a card, especially like you could put a little $5 Starbucks gift card in here and give these out as treats. Like, who wouldn't love that? And go get a yummy fall drink from Starbucks. So we're going to put this right on our card base. So this is a standard 4¼ by 11" basic black card base, and I've scored it at 5½. We're going to put this on the front, but we can't have a plain background, right? So we're going to use this adorable spider web die, and I die cut 3 spider webs from basic black cardstock, and we're just going to randomly arrange these in the background like this, and then you can put your card down right over the top. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a tiny bit of Tombow right in the center and stick these down. Maybe that one about there. And this one up here. I don't want them symmetrical. And this one I'll leave down here kind of sticking out from the bottom portion of the house a little bit. There. So just in that center. And then what I will do is I'll come in with my scissors. Now that's wet. I probably should have used a glue dot. And I will just trim off anything that hangs over the edge. Let's hold that in place. Let's see, I started to cut this. Where did I cut it? Right there. Okay, so I want to make sure that I have that over here. Okay, I'll just hold it in place. Since I didn't let it dry, a glue dot would have been a better choice for me. Okay, and then let's hold this one in place and trim this off. There we go. All right, I missed this. Now, if you wanted to, you could take these and, you know, add them back. I've done that before where I've taken the little things that I trim off, and you can just add them onto your card to give you even more detail. If you wanted to, you could certainly do that. But then we're just going to take this and we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. And this roof is already on dimensionals on the front right here. See how it's raised up? So to get that to sit level, I'm going to have to add a second dimensional and make that double high there. And then we're going to add this. I got glue on my finger, so now everything is sticking to me. So now we're just going to add this to our card front. Isn't that cute? I love it. So there's our variation. What do you think? Do you like the treat better or the card better? What do you think? Isn't it cute? I love the wonky windows with the spooky stuff inside. All right, tell me what you think. Cheese balls or card? All right, so that's our first project. Now we're going to make our second project. Which is this little treat box, and look what I put inside. Mint Oreos with green filling, because face it, green is Halloween, right? Except that once I opened the package, like the Oreos evaporated into thin air with all of my gremlins around the house. So today we're just going to use regular ones. I had to buy a whole new pack and not open them or they would have been gone, so that we can fill our little cello bag with Oreos. So for this project, we are going to use the same bundle, the Frightfully Cute Bundle. Here's the stamp set. We are going to use a 6" by 6" piece of Highland Heather cardstock. You will want a scrap of basic black to die cut a spider web. You will want a scrap of Granny Apple Green to die cut a label. you will want 2 little strips, and again, these could be scraps of the designer series paper from the Cute Halloween. I loved this print because it was really tiny, so the scale was really nice to include on the box. Then you will also use a bit of this basic black to cut out the witch's hat. I will use one of the same cellophane bags to bundle up my Oreo cookies, and I'm going to use this gorgeous shimmer Highland Heather grosgrain ribbon to tie it closed. And then I will decorate it all up with some cute stars that have the adhesive already on them, as well as one of the 2020-2022 in color square gems, which make the perfect buckle on the witch's hat. And I got this idea from a fellow demonstrator friend, Tammy Savillo, who shared that little tip. So that was a great little tip. And then, of course, I'm going to bring a little Wink of Stella in. Now, I put some Wink of Stella on the witch's hat. I don't know if you can see that cute little sparkly on the hat. Now, the pro is it makes it adorable, right? But when you do that, you kind of lose some of the embossed detail that the die puts to create the buckle. So I'm going to do a little variation on this project, and then you can decide what you like better. All right, so let's make our box. So I just realized I didn't bring my trimmer, so I don't have a way to emboss this. So let me get that quickly. I swear every week I forget something. No matter how many times I run through and make sure I have everything I need, I forget something. All right, so here is my Stampin' Trimmer. So I'm going to take a 6" by 6" piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and I'm going to score it at 2 inches on 2 different sides. So we're going to do 2 inches and then 4 inches. We're going to create a 2" by 2" box. So 2 inches and 4 inches, and then turn it 90 degrees and do the same thing. Score it 2 inches and 4 inches. Okay, so now we have a tic-tac-toe board, kind of. Now to create our box, we're going to cut on 2 opposite sides, and because this is a square, it's all equal. It doesn't matter what 2 sides you choose, but you want to make sure they're opposite. So I'm going to cut up on 2 sides, and you want this to be nice and square, so make sure that you cut right along that score line, right to the intersection there. And then flip it 180, so you're now on the opposite side, and you're going to cut, and you could even do this on your trimmer, then you know they're nice and straight, so your box will go together. If you cut crooked like I just did up here, your box won't go together quite as perfectly, but no one's going to notice, but you probably. All right, so now let's take our bone folder, and the bone folder is probably one of the most important tools you can have on hand when you're making 3D projects. And the reason being is you want to make sure that you use nice, crisp, burnished edges. Hey, Debbie, thanks for joining. I do too. I love purple and green. I love purple and green more for Halloween than I do black and orange. Now you can bring a little orange in, but I love the purple and green with the black. All right, so now I'm burnishing all of these scored lines. So I'm scoring it like this. So now I have this piece that looks like this, and I'm going to fold the middle section in, and then the side section is going to come up like this to create a box. Now, if you want to trim these side flaps, you can, but honestly, I kind of like the thickness because I think it gives the box some sturdiness, especially if whatever goes in here is a little heavy. Now, this box is super easy to mass produce and recreate if you have a lot of something to make, and you can use this for anything. You could put Halloween treats, Christmas treats, Valentine's treats, a thinking of you treat, anything in here. You could make little girl gifts. You could put one of those little EOS lip balms in here. You could put a nail polish in here. You could put all kinds of things in here. So super easy to make, and you could make it bigger or smaller simply by adjusting the size of your square and then adjusting your emboss lines accordingly. Now, before we put this together, we're going to do some stamping on this. So let's put it back down, lay it flat, okay? And then let's break out our stamps. Now, the ink we're going to use for this project is Gorgeous Grape, Memento Black, and Versamark. Now, I'm going to first take the Versamark ink and use this cute little witch, and I'm going to randomly stamp all over this box. Now, if you have Highland Heather ink, you could use Highland Heather ink. That would be fine. But I like the Versamark because it's a little softer. It's not quite as stark, even for tone-on-tone stamping, but it kind of gives you the tone-on-tone look. It's called a watermark. This ink is actually clear, and it would have been better had I stamped this before I did the embossing and cutting, because you can see how the stamp skipped a little bit there, but that's okay. This piece will be tucked under. So when you feel as though you have enough witches on your container, you can stop, but I'm not ready yet. I'm going to put upside down witch here. And again, it's a solid image, so I'm giving it just a bit of time to transfer, the ink to transfer off the stamp. I think I like that. I use this ink pad a lot. This, believe it or not, was one of the first ink pads I ever bought. And the reason why I bought it was because I could stamp it on any color cardstock and it would make it look like I used that color ink. And so I thought it gave me more versatility when I didn't have all the ink colors. And then I continued to build my collection and chipped away at getting all my ink colors. All right, so that's enough for the little witches. So now let's add some cute black bats. So let's bring in our Memento Black ink and our little bat stamp. And I'm going to stamp bats randomly on my cardstock. There's no right or wrong. It's however you want. The right way is whatever way you want. And if you stamp the bat over the Versamark, it is going to resist the ink a little bit. So just know that. So I'm kind of purposely stamping the bat in between the witches, but you don't have to. You can have it overlying if you want. And a few more. Okay, now before I put that away, I'm just going to fold this up and see how I like it. Ah, super cute. Isn't that cute? So cute. Okay, I like that. I'm happy with it. All right, so now we're going to put this box together. So you can choose to have the middle section on the outside or the end sections on the outside. So you can put your box together and see how you like it. I think it goes together better if you put these on the inside. So I'm going to put a little bit of Stamp and Seal. I think I'll use my Stamp and Seal. I'm going to put some Stamp and Seal here. This is a brand new. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to bring one side in at first and make sure it's all the way, because once you stick it down, it's stuck down. All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of Stamp and Seal here. And bring this side in and stick it down. All right, now on the inside, you may have loose flaps, like depending on where you put your adhesive. So just check to make sure none of your flaps are going to fall in, and these look like they're stuck down really well. But there's our really simple box. Hey, Janet, happy Friday. So isn't that cute? Very easy to make. You could even cut this from designer series paper and stamp on it, or just use the designer series paper. Now keep in mind that's going to not have as much sturdiness to it, but depending on what you're putting in, it may or may not matter. All right, so let's now create the front of our box. So we're going to die cut a spider web and a witch's hat and a label. Again, we're going to use this label that I'm using it a ton. It's one of my favorite labels. And then witch's hat and the spider web. So this is what we're going to die cut. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my die cutting machine and die cut these pieces out. And again, I'm using the Frightful Tags dies. I love these dies. All right, so here's all of our parts and pieces. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment on here, and I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape ink, and I am going to use the You're So Sweet It's Scary sentiment because it's a sweet little treat inside my package. And then I'm going to offset this a little bit to the right so that I have a little more space to adhere my witch's hat over here, but you could center it if you wanted. All right, so now here's the witch's hat. Now can you see this really cute embossed detail that die puts in there? Hopefully you can see that. There's some wrinkles in the hat and a cute little buckle. So on this one, I put Wink of Stella over the whole hat, but now I'm going to make a little variation, and I'm going to use my Wink of Stella, and I am just going to put it on the band of the buckle so that it just kind of helps that stick out. And then you tell me what one you like better. Then for the witch's buckle, we're going to pull in these little square gems, which couldn't be more perfect for making the witch's buckle. And I'm going to use a small one, but you could use a big one. You could use a different color, the blue, any color you want. I'm going to use gold. And I'm just going to put that right there in the center. Okay, so there's our hat. Now let's put this on our label. I'm going to kind of put it on there like this with a dimensional. So we're going to pull in some of these black dimensionals again. And there's really only room for one. So we'll put this kind of like this, where we've made the little space for it by stamping kind of off to the right here. And then I'm going to dress it up a little bit with our stars. And there's lots of colors in here. There's black, purple, and the orange. And what I love about these is they're iridescent. So when you put them on, it's like they become all kinds of different colors. So let's maybe put one up there, maybe one here. And they come in a couple different sizes. So there's 2 sizes to each of the colors. So let's see, where do I like this? I think I like it up here. All right. Then we're going to just layer this right on top on our box. So you can choose the side of the box you like. See, I'm a little crooked here, so I'm just going to trim that so my box sits flat. You can decide what side is your favorite side and what side is the least favorite. So this one is missing bats. So I think I'm going to put my spider web here, And I'm going to just bring it up. You could choose to center it, but I'm going to bring it up so it sticks up a little bit. And I'm just going to put a black dimensional right in the center of that spider web, like this. And then I'm going to put that right down on my treat container. I'm going to center it, but raise it up. And then I'm going to put this right over the top of it. And you can make it offset, high, low, wherever you want. I'm going to put a couple of black dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm going to put mine right in the center of that spider web. Right like this. Love that. And oh, I forgot to put this on. Hold on. Let's take this little spider web off. I forgot to add our paper. All right, so to do this, I'm just going to fold a little edge and I'm going to put adhesive, something dry, whether it's a glue dot or a little bit of Stamp and Seal. I'm looking for my Stamp and Seal dispenser. It was hiding under my dimensionals. I'm going to put a little bit of Stamp and Seal. And then I'm going to wrap this around the top of the box. And I'm going to put that fold right over a corner. And I'm going to put it even with the top of my box. And then wrap it around. Give it a little pinch so that it sits nicely on the corners. And it's not going to go all the way around because this designer series paper is only a 6x6 paper stack. So you can only get little strips that are 6 inches long. So once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to add a little glue dot and line it up and stick it down. And then put another glue dot here. And bring my paper around and stick it down. And then the end of my paper. You could either trim it off or just stick it down. I've chosen to stick it down. Whoops, my glue dot stuck to my finger. There. Now I'm going to use the second piece and I'm going to put a glue dot on the end. I'm not going to fold this one. And I'm going to line it up here. And this makes it nice and clean. Okay, and it's just going to come around. I'm going to give it a little pinch. Put a glue dot here to stick it down, wrap it around. And then I'll put a glue dot right here at the end. And bring it around, make sure it's lined up at the top, and then just trim it off. And then you don't have to figure out how long it needs to be, where you need to score it, and see how nice and clean it makes the top of your box. Now you can put this little guy on. There we go. Now your box is done. Such a cute and easy way to make a box. All right, so now let's make our little treat. So I'm going to take one of these little cello bags. I know, I promise I won't give you these cookies after I've been touching all my stamps. All right, so I'm going to put some Oreos in here. I'm going to put 3. You could put 4 if you wanted as well. And just put them down in the bag. And you want them standing up. There we go. And the bag is a little taller than you need it. So I'm just going to take the top of my bag. You can put it through your paper trimmer or just simply cut it with your scissors so that it's not quite as tall. And then I'm going to take this gorgeous Highland Heather ribbon and I'm going to tie my bag closed. And you can tie it in a bow or you could tie it in a knot, your preference. Maybe I'll do this one in a knot and then you can decide which one you like better. So let me shorten it up a little bit. Okay. Let me cut this. There we go. This is a little thicker ribbon, so it makes nice knots. All right, I made my cookie stack a little crooked. Let's fix that. There we go. And then I'll just trim it to the length I want it. And tuck it inside the box. And there you go. I've got Oreo cookie crumbles here. Let's fix that. There you go. What do you think? Do you like the bow or the knot better? What do you think? Do you have a preference? All right. So that's what I have today for you. We have our cheese ball bag and our variation, that's the card that you could put a little gift card in or just send a cute little Halloween card. And then we have our Oreo cookie holder. All right. So thanks everyone for joining me today. Don't forget, celebration is coming to an end. Don't forget to grab your celebration items before they're gone by making your Stampin' Up! Purchases. I will post the host code in the description of the video, so you have a link. Oh, you like the knot? Thanks, Debbie. I like the knot too. I like them both. You know me, I love bows and ribbon. All right, and if you would like your Simple Sweet Stamper tutorial bundle, I will give this to you free as a thank you gift with your purchase of at least $50 using this host code. And don't forget to like and share my video, and I will be giving away this pretty stack of cards to one lucky viewer. So thanks for joining me today, everyone. Hey, have an awesome weekend, and I'm looking forward to stamping with some of you in my stamping studio tomorrow. So have a good weekend and happy Friday.